Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at using keyboard shortcuts with Cubasis. Yes, hi Stephen, hi Keith. Yes, I am live now, so as long as you can hear me, as long as you can hear me, that's great. Okay, so keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so I don't normally use in fact, I never use keyboard shortcuts with anything. I use the mouse, so obviously with the iPad, use my fingers. So it'd be nice to see how Cubasis could improve my workflow or yours by using keyboard shortcuts, which is new in 3.2. Happy Christmas to you as well, Keith. So let's see. I bought a couple of a week or so ago this because I didn't have a Bluetooth keyboard. This super cheap and tacky, super cheap keyboard from Amazon, which is Bluetooth, to see how it would work. And it was a piece of cake to connect. Just switch it on here. Didn't have to do anything else. Just connected via Bluetooth. What make I need? I don't need. Doesn't matter. This is just a really cheap one. Anyway, so. And it's great. So the most obvious one here, I'm just going to get my cheat sheet of things up on my computer screen here so I can see what's going on. The keyboard shortcuts are quite wide-ranging. If at any point you want to see your keyboard shortcuts, you just hold Command and it will actually theoretically put... Why isn't it? Wait a sec. Right. Is it Command? Yeah. Hold Command and it will pop up on the screen, and then you can kind of do this. So you can also find your keyboard shortcuts in Setup here, in General, an open list of keyboard shortcuts, and then you can just also see what's going on there. Now, to escape from a menu, you just hit Escape and it will close that menu down for you. So that's quite handy. Also, hi Colin. Yes, Christmas was lovely. Me and Joe had a lovely Christmas. Thank you. If you press spacebar, it will play the track. If you stop spacebar, it will stop the track. If you hit the little comma, it will rewind per event. Or you can kind of go forward to different points of the track. So that's quite handy. You select a track, for instance, by moving up or down. Now this keyboard, some of the things don't quite tally up. So where it says shift for some things, I had to use command. It's probably the keyboard because it's cheap. Although there might be a few bugs in the Cubasis implementation of Bluetooth because it's a new thing. I can't tell. It's impossible for me to know either or what it is, you know, which is wrong, the Cubasis or the keyboard. However, it does. Yeah, this is the point as well, Keith. You're right. This brings it closer to working with a keyboard. Now, I use a mouse on the keyboard as well. But I think that this will make a big difference for me when I'm mixing tracks down and stuff like that, because this is really quite handy. Being able to just go is already super fast. Selecting tracks is easy peasy. As you can see, we can just move down our tracks like this. So whatever we go down to, say we go down to this one, for instance, which is track 10, I can then select the event that happens to be on track 10, which is this MIDI here. So instead of doing this, I can select it with, and let me find it now where select is. Right, so I think select is shift and right. So I might just be able to press right, and that's shift and right. So shift and right will select the event highlighted on that track. And if I had other events on that track, I can skip to different events in that track. Hitting this again will deselect the event. Okay, so shift right, shift this, selects the event, exits the event. Also, another handy feature is, you know, when you want to be loop. So let's say, for instance, we want to be, let's select, let's go to track 4. No, let's go to, track, there's a copy of track 4 on a different thing that I did. And let's select the event on track 4. So shift, enter. Now say I just want to listen to that selected event. All I need to do is hit L. Oh, hang on a minute now. Why isn't that working? See, these are some of the things that I need to learn. I'm not 100% sure. I might have to... See, that's the kind of thing I wanted to do. But I can switch loop on and off by pressing L. And that cycles the loop point. So if I go forward now to there by hitting this little comma, or it's really, you can see the top bits, but that's just took me forward to the end. So I don't think I can cycle through like this. But I'm going to set my loop point to be about there for this with my finger to show you the soloing and stuff like that. So to solo a track, let's see, let me find it now. Let me just stop that. Solo. So solo on the track is S. So now solo track 5. Unsolo. We can mute a track by hitting M. So I've now muted track 4. Unmute. And then you can mute all, etc. like this. So, I mean, you can get a lot of people, many people have got Bluetooth keyboards knocking around. But this was super cheap. I mean, it was about £9. And it works fine, absolutely fine. Of course, you can use it to type anything else you like as well. So that's pretty cool beans, I think, yeah. And then we can go back to the beginning of the track, like this. So let's set up a new track so I can show, because I don't really want to mess with this. So I'm going to go to my mixer. I don't know if there's a way to open mixer. I couldn't find it. There is a way to open editors. Say, for instance, we're on, let's pick another track just for fun. Let's pick this one, track 5. And then let's select the event on track 5 by hitting shift and then right. We can open up the editor by hitting enter now. And that just opens up the wave editor or the MIDI editor for if you had MIDI on there, which again I think is really cool. I think I think it's super useful. And then by hitting enter, hitting escape, you just close the editor. So if you have an event selected, there's 2 events selected there. If you have an event selected by hitting shift and right, you can hit enter to open the editor for that event and then escape to escape it. So all these things will speed up your workflow a lot, I think. They will for me, because once you get used to certain shortcuts that you use all the time, I think that's pretty good. Now you can delete events as well, but I don't want to delete anything in this. So let's just get out of this. Let's go and set up a new project. So new, I'll just call this new. Let's delete this test project. And here's another thing, you can obviously name all your stuff via the keyboard. Now again, that's quite handy, I think. So enter that. Hello, and we're back again. Oh, right, so there's our new project. Now let's escape from the actual view. And we can now add tracks as well with the keyboard as well. So we're not necessarily limited. We don't have to keep adding stuff. Again, another quite time-saving thing, I think. So, I mean, the more you use this, the better you're going to get at it. And these things, you can just stick them anywhere. They're Bluetooth, aren't they? You're not going to get in the way of your keyboard, etc. So let's create a MIDI track. We won't bother with an audio track, but let's create a MIDI track. So here's the thing, right? It said Control-N. Create a MIDI track. Control-N doesn't create a MIDI track for me. However, Command-N, that does create a MIDI track. Okay, so now I need to Why am I not? Let me just check my routing here. No MIDI output, MIDI ports all. And I'm not really sure why I haven't got any, because I did have earlier, why I haven't got a MIDI connection now. So I'm going to stick with all inputs there. That's strange. That is very odd. Let me just... Right, let's see if we can fix this. Let's get the keys a minute. Right, okay. Why am I not getting any sound through here for MIDI? Has anybody got any ideas? Let's try again. Add MIDI. Well, it's very strange. Let's try this again. I wonder why I'm not getting any MIDI. Okay, so add. Right. So I'm going to delete these tracks. Just a glitch. So I'm going to add. Let's see. Command N. Add. There we go. No idea why we had that. So mixer, I think I have to open. Escape to close the mixer. And if I want to record, all I need to do is, do I need to, right, I'm going to hit C, which switches my metronome on, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hit R, which is record, so just R. And then stop, go back to the beginning of that, and have a listen. Switch the metronome off at C. Cool. So that worked okay. That was fine. So let's see, we can quantize. So we know that we're selected, so Shift, Edit, Select. And there's also a quantizing. So for quantize, it's just, let me find it on my piece of paper thing. It's definitely, we can definitely quantize. So I just want to find that. Duplicate new audio, MIDI, undo, copy, paste. I'm almost 100% sure that I saw that we could quantize. Yes, Q. So you just hit Q. See, quantized. So that's good. So we can also undo. So we can deselect that as well, but we can also undo. So if we select it again, maybe we'll see if we undo the quantize. It's so big, you'll see it move again. So let's see where's undo. Undo is Control and Z. Now I think again it's Command and Z. So Command Z. See, it's undone the quantize. And redo is Shift, Control and Z. So I would say Shift, Command and Z. Shift, Command and Z. And I've redone the quantize as well. So that works absolutely fine. Now, we can also scroll in and out horizontally and vertically. This is another one of those strange ones, right? So zoom out, right? So minus, and then Shift and plus to make it huge, and then it also says, now you see I've done that now, it also says Shift and plus to make it, but it doesn't work. See, so I have to kind of make it bigger like this, and I've no idea why that is. Again, it may be just an issue with my little Bluetooth keyboard. So yeah. Right, okay, so let's do this. So we can do that as well. So we can zoom in and out. Again, let's deselect the actual thing. We can duplicate as well. So let's see, let's find duplicate now. Dun, 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 dun. Duplicate track is just D, and that works absolutely fine. So again, let's undo this with Shift, Command, and Z. So that doesn't seem to work. What is it undo again? Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. God, can't my eyes. Undo, undo, undo. Oh, undo, Control Z, yeah. Control, so I'm going to go with Command. And that will undo the tracks as well. So again, I think that's really useful. Let's see what other kind of things we can do. Locate it to next event, we can do by hitting P. Now, I'm not sure here. I would have thought I could, it doesn't appear that I can move my kind of loop points with, let's escape that. And now it stopped working, so I'm going to escape. So now I can't turn the loop points off. Oh, I can. Ah, right, wait a minute, I was hitting the wrong button. So L. I'm going to select that event and see if it works like that. Yeah, you've got to have the event selected or it just thinks you're trying to track down there. So just to be clear on that, let's deselect this. Let's move this somewhere else. So hitting your loop point here isn't going to work. But if we select that event by hitting Shift and back, and then hit, that just switches on, but then hit P, that selects the actual whole loop point. Well, you see, keyboard shortcuts take a long time to learn properly, but then they make your life easier, don't they? That's the idea. Now, I don't use keyboard shortcuts. What key is for select all? Right, okay, here we go. Let's just duplicate. Let's use the keyboard to duplicate this, and I'll show you the select all key. So duplicate is D, D, D. And then let's just Shift and do that. So select all. In fact, let's also expand it a little bit, I think. I'm going to go back a tiny bit. Okay, so select all is, let me find it now. Select next event. We don't need that. We want select all. And that is, it is here when I find it. It's all here. It's just, I've got such a long list on the screen of different things. So select next, select duplicate MIDI. Mute all, select all events, Control and A. I'm going to use Command and A because that seems to work better. So select all events, Command A, that will select all the events. And I guess, yeah, super, so escape from a selected event, Command A will select all events. Yeah, I think there's a lot of features that make things a lot easier and a lot quicker if you take the time and effort to learn all shortcuts, or just learn the ones that you're likely to use on a regular basis, and then I think you'll be good. So there are things we can do. So what else can you do? Like, as we've covered quite a lot of it now, you can split an event. So let's say, for instance, our cursor is here. That's what just play. Okay, that's all playing now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to delete some of these tracks, and delete is just backspace. So now, can you see? Do I have to delete? Delete track. Sorry, that's delete event. Delete a selected event. So we could demonstrate that actually. Let's select this and then hit D, and that's duplicate. Let's see, delete, backspace. Backspace will delete those two events. Okay. To delete the entire track, it's Control and backspace. Well, I'm going to use Command and backspace. So Control and Control like this. And then I'm also going to Command and backspace delete the next two tracks. Then I'm going to rewind this to the beginning, and I'm going to play it. And I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to select it like this, and then we're going to split that track with Control S. Well, I'll use Command S. Command S, and have we split it? Yeah, we've now split that track. So if we're here, let's just do that. We've split the track, so Shift and this, and then hopefully go to next event would be just the right. Yeah. So if you've got lots of MIDI info, you can. So many. It's quite comprehensive. They've covered pretty much everything you'd use on a regular basis. But I must stress that it's a free update for 3.2. I mean, it doesn't cost you any extra money to have this. If you've got 3.2, you only need a Bluetooth keyboard, and they're for now, and come in handy for lots of other stuff as well. So I reckon it's worth, if you use Cubasis a lot, I reckon it's worth getting one of these Bluetooth keyboard. It also does mouse support as well. Mouse support. I think it's worth getting one of these Bluetooth keyboards. And then if you really use Cubasis a lot, it wouldn't do you any harm to learn the most used shortcuts for Cubasis 3.2. So I think it makes life. There's some pretty lights on the keyboard. Look. I think for the price of it, it was great. Anyway, but I think it's very useful. I think it really is very, very useful to have keyboard shortcuts in an app like this. The play is great. The rewind to the beginning is great. The split is great. The duplicate track, adding your audio tracks in as well. That's also super handy. Being able to skip to the next event. All this stuff is useful. It's all stuff that you use by touching the screen, but can be made quicker by using a keyboard as well. And yeah, you would get it definitely work with the new Magic Keyboard, 100%. I think that would absolutely be a million times better than this. With that, everything would probably work correctly. Try command to redo. Well, I've done redo. It's Shift and Control and Z to redo. So I don't know what I'm actually going to do here. So Shift, Command and Z. Well, there's nothing to redo because I haven't undone anything. But yeah, we did work. I tried that earlier in the video. Yeah. If you want, you should undo the undo. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But I think most of it works as it should. Maybe if there even is a couple of little bugs and stuff. Let's see. Backspace is going to delete that event. Let's redo this event, shall we? By hitting Shift, Control, and I'm going to do Shift, Command, and Z. So Command and Z. Oh, Command and Z works fine for redo. Didn't need to press Z. Undo, Control Z. That's undone my split event. Yeah, things seem to work. They're not exactly the same on this. Not exactly. Most of it is. I'd say 90% is correct. So yeah, you can copy and paste as well. You can do What you can do, you can close the view if your mixer view is open, etc. If you've selected an event, like to open like this, the MIDI, you can close it with escape. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's it's part of the free update. So if you've got a Bluetooth keyboard, give it a go. If you use Cubasis a lot, learn a few of the shortcuts. I mean, when I start to use Cubasis again, when I start work on a new album again, I'll definitely bother to. I mean, it's nothing to turn this on, and it's connected automatically. It's not like we have to do any extra work to get it to work. So I think it's pretty cool as well. And of course, many people have been asking for keyboard shortcuts for ages. They just take a bit of time to. It's the muscle memory, isn't it? Get a bit of time, get the muscle memory going, if that's your thing, sort of thing. Anyway, guys, that didn't take too long, did it? Let's see, 25 minutes, and we basically covered it. So I'll read out what you can do. You can close the view, you can play, pause, you can record, you can cycle. That's the, when you're cycling, that's basically a loop. Okay, so metronome on and off, rewind song, forward. There's nothing actually written down for rewind song, so I'm not really sure about that one. Forward, and then there's new track, previous track, next event, select next event, previous event, select previous event, zoom in horizontal, zoom horizontal out, zoom vertical in, zoom vertical out, undo, redo, copy, paste, cut, split, glue, quantize, open the editor, which is return. I wonder what happens if we've got nothing selected. Let's unselect that track, and then I thought that might be nice if that opened the mixer. Let's see. We've got delete track, new MIDI track, new audio track, new group track, which is Shift Control N. So maybe Shift Command N. That will give us a new track, new group track. Very cool. So it does. Escape from that, and then duplicate track, and then locators to event selection, which we have actually already seen. Well, they're already there, but if we select that event, let's go up one page to here, select the event, and then hit P. That sets our loop point for us. So all that kind of stuff is, is good. For a keyboard that cost me next to nothing in the grand scheme of things, it's quite handy. Anyway, guys, I hope you all had a great Christmas as well. Oh. Only just. Right, guys, I'm going to let you go because it's obviously started buffering now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll give you a few minutes to say ta-ra to each other before it buffers again. I don't know why it buffered. Maybe we needed to reset the internet. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I genuinely do hope you found it useful. Please strike the like if you're still watching. Bless you all, and I will see you guys, not tonight, because it's Boxing Day, but tomorrow. But yeah, I think it's worthwhile. If you've got a Bluetooth keyboard knocking around, plug it in, have a go. It's quite good fun, actually. Just playing it via it's novel, but it could become very useful. Thanks everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.